This is a story about three plastic bottles. Each of their journeys, in their own way, will impact the fate of the Earth. For all three of these plastic bottles, their journey began here, in an oil refinery. The plastic their bodies are made of were formed by chemically bonding oil and gas molecules together, forming monomers. These monomers were bonded together, forming long polymer chains, making plastic in the form of millions of tiny pellets, which were melted in manufacturing plants, then reformed in molds, giving them their shapes. Factories filled the bottles with liquids. They were packaged, shipped, purchased, consumed, and then thrown away. It is at this point that all three of the bottles in our story take very different paths. Along with millions of tons of other plastic bottles, bottle number 1 ends up in a landfill. With every truckload, landfills grow larger and larger. Rainwater collects in landfills, and like a sponge, rainwater absorbs many toxic compounds found within the dump site, forming a toxic liquid called leachate. It's like a toxic soup that moves into groundwater, soil, and streams. Leachate ruins ecosystems and makes wildlife sick. It could take bottle number 1 up to 1,000 years to decompose. Bottle 2's journey is different. Bottle 2 floats on a stream that takes it to a river, and the river takes it to the ocean. It's in the ocean that it will ride the currents for months before finding itself stuck in one of the Earth's 5 gyres, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a vortex caused by the currents that has collected millions of tons of plastic. Most plastic doesn't biodegrade. The plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch breaks down into tiny pieces called microplastics. Often, sea life mistakes the plastic for food, making them feel full, but they are actually starving to death. Imagine a small fish eating lots of little tiny pieces of plastic, and that small fish is eaten by a squid. Then, that squid is eaten by a larger tuna. What's next? That tuna is eaten by humans, passing the plastic's toxins up the food chain. Bottle 3's journey is different. Bottle 3 is placed into a recycling container, picked up by a truck, and along with all the other recycled bottles, compressed into a large cube-shaped block, shredded, washed, and melted back into tiny pellets, the raw material used to make plastics. Thanks to the person who placed bottle number 3 into the recycling container and the efforts of the recyclers, bottle number 3 is able to be reborn and return as any number of useful items made from recycled plastics. People who choose to recycle are making a purposeful decision to improve the fate of the Earth.